Hello everyone, back tuning into today's first video. We're doing the weekend forecast this New Year's Eve. Have a detailed look at the weather weekend, or as detailed as we can get. Certainly up to Wednesday, we're okay. The pattern seems fairly well set up to Wednesday. Beyond that, we've got some very big questions to answer now in terms of what's happening at the end of the week and into next weekend. Over the past few days, we've been looking at prospects of some very cold air coming down from the north at the end of the week with northerly winds, and that potentially then setting up what could be quite a prolonged cold spell. The wind eventually backing into the east, maybe, and bringing in some Siberian air. The models are wobbling on this now, so we have a lot of uncertainty as we go through to the end of the week and into next weekend. I won't say too much about it in weekend forecast because I'm going to do a second video later this afternoon, which will be the last of the year, of course. And that's going to sort of tell you everything that's going on across all of the models. But it's a very uncertain time that we're approaching now in terms of what's happening from around Wednesday, Thursday onwards. So consequently, detail with weekend forecast is issued with very low confidence today. I'll get on with weekend forecast for you in a moment, but if I get on with that, just say about the ads. There's links to articles on all pages to have browse through widgets and click through links. You're home to pay for our website. Thanks very much for doing that. Websites we're using for the weekend forecast coming from theweatheroutlook.com and weathercentral.de. You can find a link to both of those websites on the links page. So this is our cold front that's bringing us a colder change for the new year. That's in across Scotland, just heading in towards Northern Ireland now. That's bringing, as you can see by the bright colours, some quite heavy outbreaks of rain. Elsewhere, a lot of dry weather, a few showery bursts down across the south. That's clearing away all of the fog that's been causing so many problems over the past few days. So the fog will be on its way out as this cold front moves southwards and brings a cloud with it. Here's today's Arctic pressure chart. So we've got high pressure building out to the northwest of the country. Cold front's being pushed down across the north. We've got a little bit of a reach down in the south. So those outbreaks of rain across Scotland are going to spread further southwards through the course of this afternoon into this evening, eventually getting into Northern Ireland through this afternoon, and then by this evening they'll be into northern England. Following the rain will be brighter skies for central northern parts of Scotland, but also colder air. Notice winds going into the north, following isobars back as originating from a long way north. So we'll be turning colder across the north of Scotland this afternoon, with showers turning increasingly wintry. That leaves the rest of England and Wales mostly dry with a lot of cloud. There might be a few bright or sunny spells coming through. And the main thing is that eventually I think we will start to shift that fog away that's been causing so many problems. A little bit of dampness as well as we've already seen down across the south and southeast. Temperatures today are a little bit milder than recently in the south, where it has been quite cold. So temperatures there around 5 or 6 degrees, still pretty chilly really. Then where we've got the band of rain, actually it's quite mild with temperatures of around 8 or 9. Behind the rain it gets much colder, so although it's a mildy start across Scotland today, the temperatures will be dropping by tonight. They're going to be going down to freezing. And this is how things are looking at midnight tonight. If you're off out and about to see in the new year, we've got a three-way split really. So Scotland is going to be cold with these northerly winds. He's having a Hogmanay party tonight up across Scotland. You need to wrap up warm. Could be some snow showers across the northern, eastern parts of Scotland. The main problem after today's rain might be ice, actually, on untreated roads and pavements. Could get quite icy up in the north, which of course if you're off out and about, not exactly what you want underfoot or on untreated roads. So take care if you're off out in the north and do wrap up warm. Then we'll have that band of rain through, well, it'll initially be through Northern Ireland and Northern England. It'll clear from Northern Ireland. It might turn a bit icy there in the second half of the night. Then Northern England and North Wales will have outbreaks of heavy rain lasting all night. So if you're off to a party there, you're going to need your umbrella, I would suggest. Be fairly mild, but also quite wet. Now, as this cold air starts to undercut the rain, we might find some of it turning a little bit wintry, particularly over high ground. So say over the Pennines, maybe Welsh Mountains, some of this rain might start to turn to sleet or snow later in the night. That leaves the rest of England and Wales mostly dry and quite cloudy. It's going to be a fairly mild night down in the south. Temperatures holding up at around 6 or 7 degrees. So no problems if you're off to see in the new year in London, for example. It's going to be okay tonight for New Year's Eve revellers there. Then we go through to New Year's Day, and this cold front will be pushing south across the rest of England and Wales. It's going to be a slow old process to move this through. So expect a wet morning through much of Wales, the Midlands into Lincolnshire and East Anglia. Probably starting dry in the far south, southeast. Then this rain will push further southeastwards through the course of New Year's Day afternoon. And again, on the northern edge, as the cold air begins to undercut, notice wind is going into the north or northeast. As that cold air begins to undercut, we might get a little bit of sleet or wet snow turning up, especially over high ground, so places like the Chilterns, possibly the Staffordshire moorlands earlier on in the day, and then by evening possibly down into Downs and the Wolds, we might find a little bit of sleet or wet snow mixed in with that rain. Don't think it'll amount to anything at all really, but look out window, you might see a few flakes. Further north, we've got brighter skies following in from the north and cold air as well, so expect snow showers for northern eastern parts of Scotland. And those snow showers could come down into northeastern England. Again, I don't think they'll amount to too much, but here and there they might give a dusting of snow, especially over high ground. There'll be plenty of sunshine actually following this cold front, so it'll be a breeze all day if you wrap up warm really and avoid those wintry showers. Temperatures will be ranging possibly up to around 9 or 10 degrees first thing in the morning in the southeast on New Year's Day. So starting quite mild and one of those days where the temperatures tend to drop through the day. From Wales and the Midlands northwards, it's going to be quite a cold day. Temperatures 4 or 5 degrees at best, and Scotland, northeast England, probably no better than around 2 or 3 degrees. And you'll feel the chill with that strong north to northeasterly wind. That leads into a cold day for Bank Holiday Monday. We'll finally get rid of that rain and sleet from the south overnight. Bank Holiday, New Year's Day into Bank Holiday Monday. Might be followed by ice again first thing on Monday morning. So if you're off early, out early on Monday morning, do be aware it could be icy in places. And it'll be a cold day with sunny spells and maybe a few wintry showers still drifting down the east coast. But notice, really, we're under high pressure. So it'll be a cold day, mostly dry, with sunny spells, temperatures ranging from around 1 to 6 Celsius, and a widespread frost setting in on Monday night. Then we go into the working week on Tuesday. Oh, it's still a holiday for Scotland, I think, but rest of the country will be getting back to normal on Tuesday. So under high pressure still there. We may well again start off with a lot of frost across the country, especially down in the south. Northern areas might turn cloudy and damp through the course of Tuesday with outbreaks of showery rain in the far north, but I think most places will stay dry with sunny spells. Temperatures still a little bit on the cold side, but not as cold as the New Year period, somewhere between around, say, 3 and 7 Celsius. And then this is the last day where we've got reasonable amount of confidence, which is Wednesday, so high pressure is still more or less in control then on Wednesday. Again, in the south, we might start off with frost and maybe some fog coming back again for the middle part of the week. Northern areas look mostly dry, fairly cloudy as well, I would have thought, up in the north, and temperatures will be generally a little bit milder, between around, say, 4 and 8 Celsius, except where fog patches linger. And of course, in under lingering fog, it's always going to be quite cold. Notice very cold conditions into much of Scandinavia and Northern Europe. That's what we've been watching over recent days, see whether this is going to back into the west of Europe. And then that takes into Thursday, and this is when confidence in the forecast is really falling and becoming very low indeed. All hinges on this area's low pressure way up to the north of us. If that plunges south, it'll move us into a cold northerly wind at the end of the week. However, there is a lot of uncertainty about this now. So I think Thursday probably going to be a mostly dry day. Again, we might have increasing problems with fog on Thursday. Could be some dense fog perhaps in places. That could be a bit disruptive. And that's most likely, again, for England and Wales, actually. We might get a band of rain coming into Scotland later on in the day. Temperatures, under lingering fog, is going to be cold, barely above freezing. Otherwise, again, around 4 to 8 Celsius. And then we really are into the realm of speculation for Friday, but my best guess on how this is going to go is that we're probably going to bring a band of showery rain south across the country through Friday, followed by a cold northerly wind bringing snow showers in towards Scotland. Temperatures in the south probably around 7 or 8 degrees. In the north, by the end of Friday, perhaps barely above freezing across the northern parts of Scotland. And then into next weekend, so this is how things are looking on Saturday, where we've got a ridge out to the west and a northerly wind just to our east. We're just on the periphery of that north wind. So very uncertain for Saturday, but I think we could have some cold air come down from the north. We might have snow showers running down the east coast. Otherwise, a lot of dry weather. Could be some quite significant overnight frost on Saturday night. Now, then as we go through into Sunday, this is so far out now in this weather pattern, it's very difficult to say. This particular run of GFS wants to place this high pressure over the UK on Sunday next week. But this high pressure could be out to our west, it could be to our north, it might be over Scandinavia and pulling in a bitterly cold easterly wind and Siberian air by then. So it really is a case that you're going to have to wait and see, I think, as we get later into next weekend and then on into the second week of January. Potentially it could turn very cold. There's the upper air temperature showing how much cold air there is to our north and east by next weekend. But whether we tap into that or whether we don't, we're going to have to wait and see. I think it does look fairly cold for next weekend, but the true Siberian cold is away to our east, and whether we ever get into that, let's wait and see. Finally, having a look at charts from Weather Outlook. So I've got the rain across Scotland today. Otherwise, lots of dry weather. Finally clearing away that fog. The rain's in the south tomorrow. There might be a little sleet on the back edge. Following along behind will be colder temperatures with wintry showers in the northeast. Loads of dry weather on Bank Holiday Monday, but it'll be cold. Going to be overnight frost, and we could have more wintry showers running down the east coast. Largely dry on Tuesday. A lot of dry weather through Wednesday and Thursday as well, to be honest. Temperatures become a little bit milder through the middle part of the week in the north, but in the south it looks quite cold, and expect an increasing risk, I think, through the middle part of the week of overnight fog. And then by the end of the week, it's very uncertain, probably bringing a cold front and a band of showery rain down across the country on Friday, which may be followed by northerly winds and snow showers, particularly to the north and the east. And then where it all goes next weekend, we can't say. But I'll be doing a second video later on this afternoon just showing you everything that's going on and the turmoil that we've currently got within the model output, as everything's being thrown up into the air as we try to work out where that cold pool across the northeast of Europe is going to go. So, in summary, our last weekend forecast of 2016 is a very complicated one. We're going to have a cold snap over the new year. Going to middle part of the week, we're going to get a little bit less cold. And then the end of the week, we might pull in some colder air from the north again. But it's very, very uncertain. That's all for now. Come back later on for our final video of the year. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.